Hey everyone, today I'm doing something a little bit different. I've really pushed myself out of my comfort zone and made this makeup look for you. I recently picked up this eyeshadow palette from Makeup Revolution. This is their iconic Free palette. It's basically a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked Free palette, I believe, but as you can see there's lots of pink and movie tones in here, and I was really inspired to make this eyeshadow look. So now I'm just going to come a little bit closer and show you how I did this. So I'm going to start out with my eye makeup today because the look that I'm going to do is a little bit more smoky and a bit more glittery than the sort of stuff I usually go for. So just to prime my eyes, I'm going to go in with the Dermacal Makeup Cover Foundation in the shade 208. As you can see, this is really going to cancel out all of the discoloration in my eyelids and get everything ready for the eyeshadow that I'm going to put on. I'm just going to set that in place using this MUA transparent setting powder. So now for the eyeshadow, I'm going to be using this absolutely beautiful eyeshadow palette from Makeup Revolution. This is called the Iconic Free palette. I'm going to start out with the matte shade here, and I'm just going to use this to define the creases in my eyes. I have quite hooded eyes, so I'm just bringing the powder a little bit above where my natural crease is. These eyeshadows can be a little bit powdery and prone to fallout, so make sure that you're tapping your brush just to get off any excess product as you go along. Next I'm going to use the third shade in the eyeshadow palette and just put that all over the lid. I want to make a little bit more depth in the look, so I'm going to use this lovely glittery brown shade in the palette, and I'm just going to put that on the outer corner of my eye and do almost a little number 7 with it. And then I'm just going to keep blending in the eyeshadow and building up the colour until I get the look that I want. Then to bring out the smokiness in this look just a little bit more, I'm going to go in with the darkest brown colour in the palette and just go over that detail on the outer corner. But this time I'm being a little bit more fine and precise about it and just making sure that I only go over a really small amount of the eye. And then I'm going to be blending it in again, but this time just using much smaller strokes than I was doing before. So the next bit is the fun part. I'm just going to be taking a flat brush and spraying it with a little bit of makeup fixing spray to make the brush wet. Then I'm going to pack on the second shade in the palette. This is actually a very shimmery, very glittery shade which is very difficult to use dry, but if you wet your brush beforehand you can get a really beautiful glitter effect with it. And as I'm going along I'm just going back into the palette, grabbing more colour on that brush and just layering up the colour. So that's the eyeshadow pretty much done at this point, so I'm just going to clean up underneath my eyelids because there'll be a bit of fallout and a bit of glitter under there. And this also gives me a chance to just tidy up the shape. And then I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Super Liner. This is probably my favourite eyeliner because it is so easy to use and the nib is so thin. Once I've done my eyeliner, you guys know what's coming next. I'm just going to curl my eyelashes and then add some of the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara, as always. You can just leave it at mascara if you want, but personally I just feel like this look will really come together with some false eyelashes. So I don't actually have that many black ones in my collection. I usually only wear brown false eyelashes. The only ones I have are actually these generic individual ones from eBay, but that's just what I'm going to use. So all I do is I take the eyelash on some tweezers and then I blob a little bit of glue at the end, and then I just give it a few seconds to go a bit tacky and then apply. So I start about here on my eyes. Okay, I had to do the rest of my eyelashes off camera because it started to get a little bit stressful, but I'm back now and we can get on with the base makeup. First I'm going to go in with this primer from W7. This is the Camera Ready Primer. So when I'm filming this video, I actually uploaded a review of this foundation from Dermacal yesterday, and a few people in the comments have asked if I've tried mixing it with another foundation. So yesterday I tried mixing it with the Gosh BB Cream in 01 Sand. So if you haven't seen my review of the Dermacal foundation, basically this is a really full coverage, very pigmented, very thick foundation that can be quite tricky to work with, and this BB cream is kind of the opposite of that. It's almost like a tinted moisturiser. There's almost no coverage to it, which is why I haven't reviewed it on my channel yet, because you can't really see the difference it makes. I usually use this as a primer underneath something else. So yesterday I mixed both of them together, so I'm going to do that again today for this look. So I'm just starting out with about a dollop of the BB cream, might add a bit more of that in a minute. And then I'm mixing in a really small amount of the Dermacore foundation. You really don't need very much of this. As I said in my review, it is super pigmented, super high coverage, and a little goes a very long way. So I'm just going to mix them together on the back of my hand like this. I'm just going to dot this all around my face. I'm going to start out with half of my face so that you can see what the coverage looks like when I mix it this way. So as you can see, the coverage is a little bit lighter when I mix it with the BB cream, but it's still very impressive. I really like the finish that it gives when I use a sponge to apply it as well. So now I'm just going to put it on the other side of my face. And then what's left on the back of my hand, I'm just putting directly on the sponge and bouncing that on the flushed parts of my face. And after that, I'm just going to take some of the Dermacore foundation on its own. And I'm just going to put this over any remaining areas of redness and just to spot conceal any blemishes as well as under my eyes. I'm going really over the top with the level of coverage today because I'm actually filming another video after this one and I like to look really flawless when I'm filming. Now I'm going to set everything in place using the MUA transparent setting powder. This will help take down the shine from my foundation and make sure that it lasts a little bit longer. Everything's looking a bit flat at the moment, so I'm just going to add some dimension back into my face with contour. I'm going to be using this Freedom Duo brow powder and mine is in the shade Blonde. Yes, I do use eyebrow products to contour with. I either use eyebrow products or sometimes matte eyeshadows. I don't think I ever use actual contour products to contour with because they're all too dark for me. So I just used a powder to do a sort of rough number 3 on my cheekbones and then I go under my jawline as well. And if it looks like I'm going a little bit overboard with my contour, it's because I generally do that when I'm filming a video. So yeah, I can look a bit flat if I don't make sure that I've got quite a bit of contour on. So obviously I would never wear this much makeup just to like pop to Tesco or something, but you know, it's different when you're filming, isn't it? That being said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wearing this much makeup to Tesco. You know, if you want to do that, then do that, go for it. I really wanted to use a kind of mauvey toned blush just to sort of tie together all the mauve and pink tones going on in my eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using this Creme Puff Blush from Max Factor. This is the shade 15 Seductive Pink. I've had this in my collection for a while, but I really don't use it as much as I should. I'm just going to go over the edges with my powder brush. This is just something that I do whenever I contour and put blush on. Even if it looks completely fine, which it does right now, it's just something that I like to do just to blend it all together. I'm going to be using the Technic Get Gorgeous highlight. I think I've used this in a tutorial before. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It is the most flattering kind of highlighter for me because it's not too dark, it's not too glittery, it's absolutely perfect. I love this. You can wear quite a light amount of this and get a really subtle strobing sort of effect, or you can build it up and look like the sun. You know, it's completely up to you. I'm also going to take a little bit on a smaller brush and just use this in the inner corners of my eyes. I've come a little bit closer now so that I can draw on some eyebrows. You guys know the eyebrow products that I'm going to use. It's the same 2 products in every single video. So I'm starting out with the Rimmel Professional Brow Pencil in Hazel. Then I'm going to use some brow gel. This is the W7 Queen of Brows brow gel in light medium. Next I'm going back in with the eyeshadow and I'm going to be taking this shade and this shade just on my lower lash line. also using the same glittery pink shade on my lower lash line as well. And then I'm using the Avon Winged Out Mascara. I absolutely love this for my lower lashes because there's not very much product on the brush, and also the bristles are very short and plastic and quite easy to control as well. Now, as much as I love pink eyeshadow, it can make me look a little bit like a zombie if I'm not too careful. So I'm going to use this Barry M white eyeliner pencil, and I'm just going to put that on my waterline. As you can see, it's very subtle, but it definitely makes a difference. So now I'm going to finish off this look by doing my lips, and to start out I'm going to use a lip pencil from Primark. This is their lip liner pencil in the shade Dark Pink. I like to use this just on my Cupid's bow, just to overdraw it a little bit, because my top lip is actually a little bit slimmer than my bottom one. And whatever lipstick or lip gloss I'm using on top, I usually use this pencil very quickly just to even things out. And then once that's drawn on, I just like to blend it in with my fingers a little bit. I know it looks weird now, but trust me, once the other lip product is on top, it will all come together, I promise. And then the next lip product I'm using is also from Primark. This is one of their Velvet Matte lipstick crayons. So this is much chubbier, and it's a little bit creamier in the finish as well. This is in the shade Mushroom, and I'm just going to put this all over my lips. And this is the finished makeup look. This is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoyed making this look for you, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Let me know if you want to see more slightly heavier looks like this, or if you prefer my usual, more wearable, everyday kind of looks. Personally, I like a mix of both, just depending on what mood I'm in. Either way, I hope you liked this tutorial. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you're new. I make a new video every Sunday at 9 AM, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!